was one of those mornings where finding matching socks was a challenge for the kids. We ran through the house, we found matching socks, we packed the lunch, we grabbed the backpacks. We were running late. As I picked up the backpack, it felt heavy, heavier than I expected, and it felt like it was shifting or something was odd about it. So I put it down and I started to unzip it. And as I unzipped it, two eyeballs from inside the backpack were looking back at me. It was a ferret, and I screamed and dumped the ferret out, ran with the backpack, slammed the bedroom door, and screamed for the child. What? Well, is in your backpack today? Would you like to explain that to me? And the child explains that it's his pet ferret, Sam. He thought it would be okay. I don't know how many days he'd had that ferret. I should have known something because honestly, his bedroom was smelling. I should have noticed that. We were running late. I couldn't take the ferret back to school. Figure this out later. Pack the kids up and off we go to school. Please, please, can I keep the ferret? Please, please, can I keep the ferret? No, I mean, we'd have to get a cage. There needs to be supplies. We haven't discussed this. I don't know how the cat would get along with the ferret. I don't know anything about ferrets. Please, 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 oh please, I love the ferret. And I said yes. I didn't say yes because I wanted to keep the ferret. I didn't say yes because I thought it out. I said yes because he wore me down, keeping it up, keeping it up. I was in a hurry, I was frazzled, and I said yes. I dropped him off at school. And then I started contemplating my life choices. Why do my children treat me like this? A no seldom meant no. It usually meant let's argue about it until mom just gives in and says, I want to be kind. I want to be good. I want to be gentle. But this wasn't working. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You ever have that day where the child's lied to you about brushing their teeth or stolen your car or maybe some money out of your wallet? You're thinking, I want to be kind. I want to do this gentle parenting thing. I know they've had trauma. But at the end of the day, I'd like to have my car, know the money will stay in my wallet. And we're not talking about the ferret that they smuggled to school in the backpack. Well, today we're going to talk about a pig. You're not calling your child a pig, but it's a story about a pig. Somebody, somewhere, once decided to train a pig to slide. And it's very easy to train a pig. It takes some patience, but it's very easy. The way you do it is the first day, you put pig food on the first ring of the ladder that goes up the slide. And the pig goes there and steps up and it eats the food. The next day you put the food a little bit higher on the second rung of the slide, and the pig goes up and it steps up and eats. And you do this each consecutive day, going up a rung of that ladder to the slide, up a rung, until the pig is climbing up that ladder. Each day you go and you help the pig once it's to food. Gently you take it down to the ground. The final day, the pig's all the way up the rung. There's no food. And the pig notices that the food is at the bottom of the slide. And there's nobody to help that pig down on the ground. It gets up on the slide and it slides down and it eats the food. From then on, you can put the food at the bottom of the slide, and rather than the pig wandering around and going to get the food, it will literally climb up those rungs of the ladder and slide down and eat the food. And that is how you teach a pig to slide. So why do I tell you this? Well, isn't that exactly what we do with our children when we say, no, you can't have that popsicle. You've had too much sugar today. And then they go, please, please. And they keep repeating themselves. And finally, just to stop the noise, you say, just take the popsicle, right? You're teaching that child, just keep up asking or just don't mind. And eventually they can get their way. Yes, you're grounded. Please, I just want to go to my friend's house. Please, please. No, you're grounded. Please. And the longer you say no, 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 and you finally say yes, that's what you've taught them that it takes that long. It takes that many repeating themselves. It takes that much begging you until they get their way. It's really hard because instead of teaching that pig to slide, or if we've already taught that pig to slide, again, I'm not calling your child a pig. I'm saying that that's the lesson. We have to say, okay, if we're going to say no to the popsicle, then we're really going to say no to the popsicle. Because if they're going to keep asking, now we have to remember that if we change our mind and say, okay, just take the popsicle, because they wore us down. Maybe they're teaching us to slide, right? Because they wore us down, then we've taught them to wait. So we've got to say no and mean it. That's really hard because they're not going to say, thank you, Grandma, for being so consistent. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate the stability. But children with trauma, even more so, right? They're testing the boundaries. If they're a foster child, they're testing the boundaries. Does no mean no? Or does no mean ask again and again and again? And if you repeat yourself enough times, then you're going to get your way. So anyways, that's what